Ever loaded into EU5 and not known what country you want to play? Do you think there is not enough choice of nations out there? Have you ever wanted to conquer the world as that random village in Poland that you're from? God, what is this? How do I pronounce this? Pot Cow Tribunal Ski? Anyway, do you want to realize your Pot Cow Tribunal Ski world conquest dreams? Well, have I got the mod for you today, because in front of me right now I'm looking at a world where every location is independent. Link to the mod will be provided in the description below if you want to try it for yourself, although you may want to stick around in the video. I have some advice and or clarifications about running this yourself that you may be interested in. Otherwise, well, before we get into the video, a like would be appreciated and a subscription would be amazing if you haven't already. The 100k sub goal is a big one, but I continue to hold out hope. Finally, if you're interested in acquiring EU5 or anything else in the Paradox store, please do use code Lemon Cake. It does help support the channel. But with that said, let's see what we have over here. And I mean, indeed, we are looking at a shattered world where every single location in the game is independent. For the countries that don't already exist, namely those that had to be generated for this, so for example, Andorra does exist day one, so it doesn't need anything generated, but for example, this location over here that needed to be created, it's taking the primary culture and religion from its population basis. And this applies to the government type as well. So if this is a county because the previous nation that was here, Poland, was a monarchy. So if we go and take a look at the government types in the world, we can kind of see the old borders of the Great Horde, the Italian Republic, some of the HRE republics, and some of the old tribal governments in Ireland, as well as, of course, the slew of theocracies over here inside of the Teutonic Order and Livonian Order areas. The normal countries still do exist, that is to say the Byzantine Empire does still exist, it's just reduced to one location minor, so you can still play as normal countries like the Byzantines and of course the Ottomans and their beyliks. And most of the dynamic situations are actually still kept in the games, that is to say that if you are a Muslim Turk, there's still a bunch of these around, we're still going to have a rise of the Ottoman situation to see consolidation out of the Anatolia region. We're also of course going to be having the 100 Years' War between the Kingdom of England, that controls London, and the Kingdom of France, that controls Paris and not much else. Another interesting dynamic that I think is worth mentioning, though, for example, is that England, of course, started with fiefdoms, and every nation is independent, but the previous fiefdoms still have the same ruler. That is to say that England had a fiefdom over, for example, in Wales. So this guy is in charge of the Lordship of Pembroke, as well as being in charge of the Kingdom of England, despite these two not actually being in any way diplomatically tied to each other. It can also lead to some pretty weird interactions where, for example, the Lordship of Glamorgan did previously exist, and even though it's literally 94% Welsh, is taking primary culture English, as that is the culture of the country that used to exist in this location. That is to say that if you ever want to play any country in the game and still have access to its normal, dare I say, content, so you want to play as the Kingdom of Naples, but you're only playing as a unique location Naples, well, you still can, it's just you're going to be reduced down to one province, but you still have all your unique country bonuses. And of course, every conventional formula from the game still does exist. Ironically, remember, this is tied to capitals, so the Pope is no longer in charge of Pope. The Pope is in charge of Avignon in the Papal States, and that's it. If you actually take a look at Rome, it's now run by the County of Rome, so make of that what you will. Another thing that is important to mention, it's kind of a weird property that occurred when setting up the mod itself, is that the game actually kind of has a hard limit on the amount of countries it can actually handle before straight up refusing to load and crashing on startup, and that limit is just under the actual province count of the game. And for that reason, so that the game would actually work and load in to be under this limit, the new world is gone. So that's just a heads up. If you wanted to do Shattered World playing in the new world, you can't. For the purposes of actually loading the game, they're removed. Unfortunately, that's not the only area that had to be yeeted. There was actually not enough tags, so as part of this Southeast Asia, as well as Australia and New Zealand, that is also removed. We have kept up to the Ryukyu tags over here. I mean, those are literally unchanged, but basically to be able to actually have enough, dare I say, tag spots for this, this is removed. This has gone now as well. So my formal apologies for those looking forward to playing in, I guess, New Zealand, or if you're trying to play in South America, I guess, you can't. At some point, some part of the world had to be cut, and the decision was made for, well, keeping the old world for the most part intact instead. And that brings us to the next point, that is to say, performance. Surprisingly functional, but you do need a good computer for this one. I'm just going to not even pretend to beat around the bush. If you actually want to have a decent shot at running this, you probably want specs more in line with what they say for the max quality specifications. That's kind of what you want to be looking at here. And I'll be honest, this is already pushing the limits of the EU5 game, as it were, as well. So make of that what you will. That being said, it does run, it does work, but we don't have a time lapse ahead of us today. Spoilers, and I would have loved to do a time lapse or even play the game for 100 years and address it. But this mod has introduced something that I'm going to have to say is probably a memory leak. I'm not sure what else it would be. But in essence, while running, I won't say well, but while running, for around 2 to 3 hours, it's fine until it suddenly crashes. There's no time lapse feature like there is in EU4, otherwise I just run the game and then look at the time lapse at the end for that. So that's a shame. And it also means that just running the game to 1500 on AI only even is a challenge because not only does it run significantly slower, we'll have to come back and babysit it every 2 to 3 hours and reset up the time lapse and the recording without having too many juts and cuts in between because the game is just going to crash every 2 to 3 hours because of this. Dare I say memory leak, but I'm not sure. Now, this is obviously a problem, but it's okay. We've rebranded this. This is now a feature. This is actually the go outside feature. If you are playing the game for 2 to 3 hours in a row, the game is going to force you back to the Windows menu screen, forcing you to take a break, go outside while you reload this mod, because this game takes like 5 minutes to load. I'll be honest with this mod, loading time into the actual lobby as it's loading every single tag, it's bad. So we're looking at around a 5 minutes load time just to get into the game, and that's on good hardware. So, mandated breaks, this is actually for your general health. So, it's a feature now. Stop complaining. But of course, this does kind of demolish my ability of just running the game till 1500 and talking about it, or doing a time lapse of it. So this brings us to the next point, how I'm going to demonstrate this world to you. Well, I guess I'm going to have to actually play the game. And for that, I'm going to be playing as the Lordship of Powys. Their capital city as well, if you are into your Welsh history, you may recognise as a name. It's one of the old legendary capitals of Wales. And our goal today is going to be to unite and, of course, restore Wales. Should be relatively easy. Our country does suck, of course. We have 38 guys and a dream, but thankfully it's a pretty apt description of everyone else around us as well. Anyway, I think that's a pretty reasonable goal, so I think we should just get straight into it. So here we are in Powys. Now, if, of course, I wasn't running this mod, and if I had not disabled Iron Man, just in case something goes terribly wrong, this would be an achievement-compatible run of the game. That being said, we are technically a country that exists from day one, so we are primary culture British, while being 98.5% Welsh Celtic British. And one of the consequences of this actions, of course, is kind of tragic, is we do have 41 nobles, and of these 41 nobles, they are, I do believe, all, well, first of all, upper class, but I believe all English. If we check the demographics here, yeah, 85 English pops over here, and I believe all the nobles and all the clerics are, yes, English Catholics and English Catholic clerics and nobles. So that's our upper classes, basically. They're English. But everyone else, all of our labourers are Welsh. And as much as I'd hate to annoy the 85 English people in our country, I think our first opening move is going to be, inside of our culture map, and we're going to go ahead and immediately add the Welsh as an accepted culture. Now, the English and Welsh hate each other. That is a bit awkward, so we're going to waive our accepted culture right away. But then we're going to go ahead and we're going to become primary. Now, this is going to still cost us 50 stability. That's going to be painful. And 50 of our legitimacy, and that's a bit awkward. But now that we've done that, we've kind of fixed most of our problems on the culture map point, but we've still, of course, accepted the English. That is way too expensive. We're still way over our culture capacity. So we're going to also immediately remove the English as an accepted culture. And there we go. We fixed most of these problems. This does really annoy all 85 English people in our country, but I reckon we'll be fine. What isn't great, of course, is we are now negative stability and not doing great on legitimacy, but that's something we should go ahead and fix now. We are going to mint, may as well now because London is no longer able to push into this land because they don't exactly get own this land for mercantilism protectionism. We're part of the Dublin market, which is probably not a good thing to be part of, but hey, it's there. I mean, I guess we can eventually try and nick the Dublin market. That might be a shout. Or we try and make our own Welsh market. Ooh, that could be a shout. But it does kind of mean, I think we have silver in this market. In fact, one of the provinces right next to us is this one here with silver. So we'll be able to mint with silver. We don't have gold to mint from, certainly, though. In terms of our taxes, I mean, we really does not matter how much we tax, like anyone at this point. I guess could tax the commoners a bit more, but it's not great. I think we're not going to spend anything on diplomacy. We're going to max spend on stability, because that's pretty irrelevant, and on cost of court, but Not great financially, let's be honest. We don't have an army or navy to talk about as well. I mean, pretty horrific start, but thankfully so is everyone else. And I mean, I might as well automate trade, but we have 0 trade capacity, so yeah, sure, I'll automate trade. It's gonna do nothing. Wow, this is gonna be miserable to play. Let's go set our rivals who can rival anyone we want in highways. Fair. That kind of makes sense. Let's go ahead and rival our potential passive expansion into the silver over here. And oh, can we only have? Yeah, we can only have one rival, so that's about it. Can we get a friend? Now that's the question. Offer alliance. 4 people. 4 people are down to be friends. Okay. Well, let's ally Monmouth, I guess. Probably want to ally someone relatively close to us, at least. Someone can help potentially in a war, but um what's our diplomatic capacity? 1.4. Okay, we can have one friend. So we should probably let's grab these guys. The idea is if we go into this location and we don't have enough to siege, they can hopefully send their like 12 guys over as well to help. So there we go. We've allied these gentlemen. And I guess my other question is hypothetically, ask them to become our vassal is minus 95 because, I mean, yeah, we're pretty terrible in terms of our relative strength. That's fair. Okay, otherwise, we need to go ahead and do our cabinet actions. Can we afford... Oh, 0.09 to... And we only have one person to appoint. Okay, our English Catholic heir. All right, well, we might as well promote him to head of cabinet, but I think he's going to become ruler sooner rather than later. Right. Anything useful you can conceptually do. God, what are our values? I'm trying to think what part of this matters. And I mean, I guess the starting really defensive values are neat, but everyone's going to have that. Maybe want to double down on traditional economy and probably want to push communalism, perhaps. Maybe we encourage migration to our capital. I think we start by getting some monthly legitimacy or even stability going. Yeah, okay. I think I'm a bit more worried about the legitimacy situation, so let's do that. And then these guys can stabilize without a cabinet person assigned. I know I literally don't have anyone to appoint a cabinet member. We can call our unique localized parliament in, what, 25 months? So 2 years, give or take. Fair. And our starting laws, limited. I mean, most of this isn't going to matter. Peasant levies, great. Oh, God, language of... What's our court language? We speak... Oh, God, we speak French. Oh, God, okay. Well, I guess we'll go serfdom maxing, so let's go court language, make the nobility slightly happier. Okay. Ideally, we'd like to urbanize this location itself, but oh boy. All right. And these guys have a stockade. Okay, they are literally uninvadable. They are basically immune for the early game. As are everyone around us, I've just realized. The only people that we can kind of invade to are into here. Okay. All right. Oh, and of course, government reform time, right. I guess we're decentralization maxing, right? Yeah, may as well at this point. I guess we go take diplomatic tradition at this point, and then it's like if we get even a unique location subject, we're not going to be able to keep them loyal even with feudal nobility. Are we even making any food for this to do anything? I mean, yes, 3.7. Oh boy. Okay. Not even a food RGO. I guess we'll just take serfdom maxing and eventually the food will be nice. Right, nobles. I think I want to do nobility controlled serfdom and primacy of the nobility, but with that means we'll be down to 15. So for the commoners, we do need commoners militias. It's not really an option. So let's grab that. Clergy. Probably, I mean, possible clerics in down the cities is normally great, but there's literally nothing here. Right. Religious administration, give me that stab investment. And now we can give you that nobility controlled serfdom. And the very crucial thing that will help our army quality, the primacy of the nobility. Thank you. Now, still 31% crown power. Nice, that's because basically none of the other estates have pops to have power in. So that's neat. Right then, well, I think that's about it for setup, isn't it? Oh boy. Oh, and immediately our English population is leaving our country. That makes sense. I guess should have been expected. I was kind of hoping they'll be coach converted instead, but nope, no, they're just leaving. You know, I'm looking at this one silver mine, and I'm not gonna lie, this would be insane for our economy. Like, obviously, just having more land would be great, but they clearly don't actually have the soldiers or the tar to run the stockade. That is to say that this stockade is already 49 out of 24 population. We could wait for this to drop to 0, but I reckon if we go to you, we grab an alliance here. We could probably backstab them but secure the silver mine, and that would be something. That would be something indeed. So I think, go big or go home, right? The Lordship of Cardigan, please. Please accept my alliance offer, thank you. Does put us over diplomatic capacity, so let's, I guess, spend on that. Oh, can't even declare I need a diplomat. Okay, fair enough, let's wait for that. Alright, our diplomat is here. Meanwhile, these guys over here still have no friends. Not the best odds, we're gonna end up backstabbing them here. We need to somehow link up to have a chance, but, well, I think we just go for it, honestly. Right, let's raise, and I'm not sure how this link up is gonna happen. Okay, they arrive. Are we... They don't really have a center, but we don't really... Can we kill these three dudes, please? Get him? Okay, okay. You know, Mild Knight went... I mean, those guys need to get in there. We're dealing, like... No one's dealing any casualties, let's be honest here. Okay, they're going for it. They are going to go for it. Do they get here in time? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. Oh god, we're losing like one guy. Our center's going to break. But they've arrived! They've arrived! Our saviors. Okay, the war will be won. The war will be won. Now they're the ones getting flanked. Beautiful. Beautiful. All calculated. All calculated. The Battle of Mackinleth. There we go with that. Alright. Come on. Get that one guy. Get that one guy. Okay. Okay. But I think that's it. I think we're about to win. It's just literally two guys shooting at each other. That's kind of the battle at the moment. And there we go. Glorious victory. Run them down. Get him. Get him. Come follow me. Please. You have to. Okay, we arrive first. We arrive first. That's good. We are siege leader. Let's not order an assault. And they don't have enough to siege, despite us having 0 garrison? I mean, I guess it works for me. I'm not sure why they can't siege. I feel like they should be able to, but I'm not going to be one to complain. Our army is literally 28 guys, by the way. Alright, and on that note, we are now dead. We are succeeded by our previous chap over here. He should probably adopt to local culture at some point, although that's going to make all the English people really upset. Hostile rhetoric. I feel like we're suddenly doing a lot of hostile rhetoric because there isn't much other kind of rhetoric to be doing. I mean, I guess antagonism is bad since we're walking around no CBing, so it's not like we're gonna have much prestige anyway. Yeah, that can't go away. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I just got an event for losing 7 stability or 10 legitimacy. I'm trying to avoid a coup attempt over here. I think part of avoiding that coup attempt is going to be adapting local culture. That is, of course, the Welsh culture. So let's bite the bullet. Ouch. Minus 20 prestige. Not we had much prestige anyway. A lot of people don't like us. But is that a decay opinion? That is decay. In 50 years, they'll forgive us. Okay. Oh, great. Iron and treason. Wonderful. That's going to be helpful. I mean, I guess we can conduct an investigation for 0.03 ducats. We found my mum. My mum is conspiring against me. Can we politely ask my mum to stop? It's not very nice, mum. I know I just made you Welsh, but still. I mean, it's 2.5 legitimacy. Right, let's get our stability up. Let's not kill our mum. When can we do the next investigation? Another year. Fair, let's wait for that. Oh, never mind. I'll be able to conduct another investigation on the 30th of May in 1338. Not even a year. So it's actually like pretty quick to be able to spam these. That's pretty good. All right, so let's conduct another investigation. And it's the one guy in charge of our army. All 28 of them. I mean, again, I guess we can't really kill him because he is in charge of our entire army right now. So let's spare his life instead. All right, there we go. Very cheap way of getting our stab up, though, in the grand scheme of things. I love it. Oh, okay, apparently that's the end of the conspiracy, though. We asked our mum and the general if they were in charge, and then we said, okay, please don't do it, and that's it. Well, that was short-lived. Actually very profitable. I'd do this again. You know what? I'm down. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, we've just had 2 status quos, which has led to a new coup attempt, so I guess my mum is talking to the general again. God damn it. Although, I guess I just have to ask them politely to stop, and it would go away. And it would give me some stability for free. Or at least speed up the increase of stability, so maybe not the end of the world again. Should be fine. Right, good roll, please. Good roll. Water shortage. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, excellent. We actually can hopefully finish this war soon. Oh my god, we actually did it. The siege of Aberystwyth is over. We've done it. We've taken it. It's ours now. Perfect. Only took us just over a year. My god. Alright, well, hopefully they don't care too much. Wait, do they actually not care? Wait, what? Seriously? So you want more land, but if we take the province, you don't mind now. I mean, it works for me, I guess. Hopefully we get at least a good chunk of this 11 ducats. Yeah, got most of it, actually. Nice. Right, excellent. We've secured the silver RGO. Let's immediately begin by getting rid of the stockade. Oh yeah, of course, we have literally no one in cabinet. Right, well, let's get you gentlemen over here to keep strengthening and stabilizing. I would like to integrate this is the issue. Maybe some rabble crackdown on the 76 English people that are complaining. Okay, there's a couple flaws in my plan. First of all, we have like no control on this province. Now, this will get better over time, but this does mean that at the moment, we're getting all of the inflation. We're currently minting at 0% because of all of the silver we're producing. And we're getting pretty much no benefit out of it. So at the moment, all of this is actually done economically for us, has given us all of the inflation. Right. I do want to say, I think it's also increased our cost of court because our economic base has technically increased, although it's hard to tell. Oh god, what happened to our crown power? How did it collapse so much? Oh dear. Oh, and we are a bubbling buffoon. Lovely, of course we are. Oh, that being said, it's time to give this guy an education. Oh, well, he's gregarious, so that's neat. We can't afford an expensive education, conceptually. Like, that's just not happening. I guess an administrative education? Yeah, sure, go for it. Great news for the economy. Harlech, whoever these guys want to purchase military access. Yes, please. Please. Absolutely. Go march whatever you want over my land. That's almost 100 months. Well, more like 80 months of income. Jesus, sweat, we're so poor. Alright, it's the 1st of April, 1340, and it's time for our first parliament. Now, ideally, would actually not call it in our capital. We are going decentralized after all, but we kind of have to. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what do we actually want in this parliament? We want to change a bunch of laws. Either way, let's go pick that up for plus 68%. Base support, lovely. Oh, but you guys do want decentralization, that's fine. Right, let's ask for some law changes. That distribution of power, yeah, that's distributed incorrectly. I think we're going to have to go ahead and favor the ruler. Yeah, I'm going to piss off our estates a bit more, but look, I will not need the crown power. And yeah, go ahead and have your autonomy support. That's fine. Not like we're stable anyway. And here we'll go autonomous councils, get that progress to decentralization, as well as some legislative efficiency. Now, here's my question. Can we get this for one more law change? Probably not. But let's go for it. No, we can't. Okay, well, that was quite sad, actually. Excellent. The core is completed. Now we just need to get the control up to some point. I mean, 56 is the cap on this thing. I think probably worth it to get our cabinet to work on it. Probably worth to get our cabinet to work on it. Right, I'll be honest, I've been struggling to find reasonable allies, that is to say, allies that have more than 200 troops. But over here in Ireland, the Earldom of Fingal over here, they do in fact have 201 troops. Excellent. They're not going to be able to actually help me in wars, but hopefully this is going to stop people declaring war on me, at least that's the plan. And more importantly, they will actually accept allies with me, just barely. But you know what? Just barely is good enough, so let's go pick that up. Over here, I've seen these gentlemen. They were previously under siege by these guys, but they've just had that siege abandoned. And they are kind of on their own with 15 guys in a dream, so it might be worth just kind of walking in here real quick. I mean, they seem to have no real friends. I think once this stack walks off, we should be able to raise and walk onto here and get going on that. They do have a fort as well, which is unfortunate, but I think probably is our next path to expansion. It is also our capital state. Chance to go for something. Unfortunately, we are also suffering from smallpox. Doesn't help, but you know, what can we do at this point? Not much. But yeah, I think that might be our next quick expansion path, dare I say. Okay, can confirm these guys still have no friends who can walk right in. Unfortunately, there is one tiny issue with our plan. That is, of course, they've fully recovered their fort garrison here, so this is gonna be painful to siege. Especially with this, oh dear god, full fort defense. You can have some romanticism, oh boy. Unfortunately, there's not many other options for expansion. We can go into here, but they have a friend. But we can defeat in detail. This is going to be an expensive war to potentially fight. Could call in these gentlemen here, but I'd rather, weirdly enough, they preserve their own strength. I'm not sure we'll be able to do the 2-for-2 tat for, not giving them land actually in this time as well. So I think we go for the safer option here, even if it does mean we're going to spend another year trying to siege the goddamn place. Now, that is expensive. Why is that? Why is this expensive? Do we actually have a truce with you? Oh, I guess we are kind of friends. We're both Welsh primary culture and everything. I mean, actually, that being said, we could probably just ask them nicely to be our subject. And that kind of opens up a couple more options. Maybe even into Wrexham here. I think we go pick up our first friendship yet again. My god, our diplomatic capacity is gonna suffer, but 143, we improve here, and they are just happy to become our subject. Ah, Penlin, you want to buy mill access for your war with these guys. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I feel like this is what? How bad is this dog pile now? Not as bad as I thought it would be, but pretty bad, right? I mean, 5 ducats is 5 ducats. Of course, go right ahead. And as we look at our allies of 63 men, in some cases, literally, wait, how does that work? They have 61 and then 1 here, but that's 63 in total. Anyway, as we look at our allies, 63 men, try and beat up the army of the enemies of 17 men, we enter the age of Renaissance. And with that, the dawning of this new age, we have some options. Now, usually administrative is just best, but I'll be honest, I kind of need to squeeze out any kind of military buffs I can, so military focus it is. So, you know all those allies I mentioned? Well, these guys just peaced out for annulled treaties with me, and these guys just peaced out of their separate wars for, you guessed it, annulled treaties. Oh, never mind, that's because they are a vassal of Bristol. That's actually worse. I thought they got separate peace, but now Bristol is... in charge of some places. Bristol is quite a powerful nation. Anyway, well, these guys have 409 troops, which is pretty good by our standards. So I'm going to try and slide in here and replace our previous friends with these friends, and hopefully that's enough to, again, stave off some aggression. Well, right then, before the Montgomery, shall we say, levies fully recover and they reconsider their decision to become our subject, before this current strength becomes too much of an issue, let's get your vassalization in writing, shall we? Excellent. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, we truly have very few options. The expansion of the Bristol Empire is putting a bit of a timer onto our own, shall we say, progress into Wales. We need to make a move, and these gentlemen over here are gonna have to be our next target. Now, they look pretty susceptible to invasion. We have allied their one other friend who will dishonor the court of arms. However, we can see that their other war that they're in, because they've gone to war with these gentlemen over here, well, that's mostly been won by our friend, right? So their armies are most likely raised and just standing on this tile. And more annoyingly, they also have a level 2 fort, which is not going to be an easy siege at all. That being said, what is our plan here? Well, we're going to have to deck, and they most likely will walk into Macanlith, at which point we hope they aren't able to get to Aberystwyth before our troops finish raising. And hopefully the 200-ish troops we get from here scare the 124 troops away, so then we can march back into Macanlith, raise, and then hopefully by some miracle win a battle against them without taking more than 60 troops casualties, so we can actually siege this place. And this is going to be a painful siege, but I think that's just something we have to go for. Right, I mean, that's basically the entire plan. We can wait a bit longer, squeeze out a little bit more control from here, but I mean, that's probably not happening, let's be real. And I'd love to build a road here, it's just... yeah, no, that's not happening, ladies and gentlemen, that ain't happening. So, yeah, right. Just almost recovered our stability, yep. Okay, at least our legitimacy's fixed, so we are at least making money, although, my god, this inflation. We have money, we just are suffering, right. Let's decrease our taxes, of course, we kind of have to. And we're no longer making money because I'm going to just automate this, to be honest. Because, of course, our stability just went down from that no CB. And, I mean, thing is as well, this is a province we don't want to fight in. Forest Mountain. Ouch. Right, let's go ahead. We're going to raise these levies. We're not going to raise the ones over there because they're going to march into here. And let's hope we can pull off some kind of miracle. I mean, we kind of have to. Alright, good and bad news. We should be able to finish raising our levies, but they have gone and sat on our capital. This is the issue. Okay, well, let's see what we're working with. We're also getting joined by our good, loyal subject over there with all 34 of their men. Okay, right. Well then, on these guys, let's appoint our best general yet again over here. The admin skill, giving us extra possible frontage. Doesn't matter, we're not filling frontage. So, pure stats for everything else, right? The only thing we care about is diplomatic availability for army morale and discipline. So, that's nice. Is there even any point of attempting to organize this? No, not really. What do we do? We could go on their capital. Interesting. I mean, go for it. Do we try and reinforce that? No, I think we get in here and then we try and raise the rest of our troops. Okay. Get in here. Let's raise our other 82 men. Perfect. And they shouldn't be able to leave, because if I'm not mistaken, we don't have mill access through anywhere else, so neither they should. Okay, okay. Right, well, you know what? You guys over here, Montgomery, your sacrifice has been incredible. Rest in peace, those 34 guys yet again, but, well, really not sure what to say beyond thank you. Okay, well, they're all dead, as in they have a 0 unit stack, but at least they're gonna try and hold out the siege with all 60 men. That's something. Do we try and fight that? Oh, and Venice spawns banking. You know, the more things change, the more things they really stay the same, don't they? I think we take this fight. Yeah, we outnumber them 3-1. So that being said, let's take a look at this formation. Do something like this. Probably get some decent flanking off on them as well. Right, well, let's recover our morale, first of all. There we go. All right. And what's their general? Pretty bad, actually. That's also the king. Well then, in we go. Let's hope I don't regret this. Good rolls. They immediately roll better than us, but thankfully no one's in the battle yet. Okay, now we're all in the battle. And they roll quite well again, but give me a good roll. Okay, there we go. I think we get away with this. We might lose, like, a couple guys, but we're actually... Yeah, we're doing very well here. Alright, perfect. Should stay above 300 troops even. Yeah, incredible. Actually, we did really, really well here. Perfect. I think we just killed them. Yeah, literally all of them. Beautiful. Some kind of discrepancies in the numbers here, I feel like. Paradox, how does -10 lead to -9? But how does -112 lead to minus... Okay, I'm going to not ask questions anymore. You guys go get on that siege. And we just have to, I guess, pray that a level 2 capital fort with coastal falls this decade. Oh boy. Yeah, that's going to be a while, isn't it? That's going to be bad. Right. They have 42 troops somewhere. I guess potentially unraised? Yeah, -57. Okay, well, I mean, theoretically we can win it, and at least we have progress, so that's nice. And there's a bunch of food in the area for us to borrow while we siege them, so that's good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this seems a bit insane, but we've rolled walls breached into 2 water shortages and a supply shortage, so this has been going incredibly well. You know what? Thank you, Paradox. This has been the luck I finally needed, I guess, in this run. But yeah, that's really, really good. Finally, good rolls. Two interesting developments. Sitting on this siege, as one does, and Penlin has joined the war against us. Certainly an interesting development, not one I expected, mainly because my question is, how did you gentlemen obtain this alliance mid-war? I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that. In other news, though, you guys want mill access. That's absolutely fine, because I love, you know, giving out mill access for 5 ducats. That's absolutely fine. Can we wrap up the siege, please, though? That would be great. We've been very lucky on the rolls, okay, and we get legitimacy event where you have max legitimacy. Thank you, Paradox, very cool. But I'm getting a bit worried now. Okay, right. Also, these guys, yeah, they're pretty close. Okay. Okay, literally, ask and you shall receive. Perfect. That siege is over. I think we have to march into here. That being said, that's going to be ugly. Maybe we drop back a province? But, I mean, I guess that's just more free land, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, I ain't complaining. Do need to deal with this, though. I think we drop back a province. Hopefully they march their 85k into here, then we can beat them up and sort everything out and be super happy. Okay, that's the new plan. Right, let's get to that. Okay, how did you guys join now? I'm sorry. I think they've literally just won this siege over here. How did you get into this? Oh boy. Well, that's an issue. What's the play here? If they link up, I'm in trouble. And I have whatever this is going to be. Okay, they're now chilling at least a bit more, but oh boy. Just a span, perfect. Okay, he's walked on, so we can do this and hopefully just snipe this entire country out of existence like that. This should be a pretty bad slaughter on our end. We are defending Forest Mountains, so -3 roll. Actually, I don't know if I agree with that formation. Yeah, let's shove you guys onto the right here. Yeah, okay. And what do they have formation-wise? No center, actually. Okay. So should crush this middle pretty quickly. And then... Yep. Okay. I mean, we just win this. There's no two ways about it. Basically, yep. Right. Okay. It cost us 4 dudes. That's not nothing. But... Could we take a... I would love this province. I'd be able to border these guys. Okay, and they've walked onto here. That's not good. I think we can trade occupations. And then what? Excellent question, Lemon Cake. I don't know. But alright, that's those guys, for all intents and purposes, out of the war. And if that becomes an issue, we can get them out. Max money war reps at the minimum. What we do with these guys now, that is the problem. Okay, and yeah, these guys, Fingal, have been changing their mind about breaking or keeping the lines for quite a few times now. Thing is, we have the straight crossing here. We can move here. And that means they can either move to a fort, attack us, or go into the... Yeah, okay, I think that's going to be the play here. We move here. And after our capital, they have to move somewhere else. That is to say here, which we arrived to defend. Alright. We do win this, right? What do they got? Meet them in the center, should get a little touch of flanking. Alright, this is not going to be pretty. This is going to cost us some men, I believe. Let's actually keep an eye on this battle. Yeah, I mean, we're going to stay in it, but... Oh, may get away with... Okay, the middle is... Yeah, it's just... Like, 50 casualties is painful for us. It hurts. Okay, at least good rolls, and then we go, they get some nice rolls, but... If we can get away with just 50 casualties, we won't. I'll be happy. I don't think we do, but we'll be able to keep them under 100, and should be able to win this. Right. Okay, I mean, it's pretty much in the bag now. Thankfully, we don't get a... Well, not thankfully. Unfortunately, we don't get a double flank on here. Ironically, these guys hold more than the center does. Despite being outnumbered 2-1. But yeah, now it's over. Yep. Okay. Lost 54 dudes. I'm not happy with that. Not good ratios. You know it's bad when these are the odds we're talking about. Let's get our capital back, actually. Let's get that occupation back. First and foremost. See, Wales over there is having a fight. Right. Then how many troops do they have? 2. Perfect. It's the perfect amount of troops for you guys to have. We might not even need the cap. We might not actually need that siege because it's not a real fort. Ooh. We might be able to get out of this like an absolute bandit. I don't know how they managed to get all those mid-war allies. That is a bit concerning, but this could be very, very profitable for us. Okay. And if we move to here, because this is now considered occupied, so we can full annex you. Does anyone care? Right, I mean, By the looks of it, no. Not particularly. So I think we go ahead and do that. This is a separate piece. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. And then we can't separate piece to capture you. Oh, no, we can. Huh, that's neat. All right. Okay, well, this turned out a lot better than I ever expected it to, I'll be honest, because we're about to get a bunch of money from this. And of course, the final promise we actually wanted. How bad is this antagonism? Does actually anyone care? Apparently no one does. Just took a whole bunch of non-co-belligerent and done a bunch of no-CB wars, and absolutely no one cares. That is beautiful. All right, perfect. Right, well, that's certainly putting us on the map now. Look at that. Okay, and we do have these guys in like 2 months, so that's... But alright, well, I'll take that, that's for certain. Also, I've been keeping an eye on these gentlemen over here, and the reason I have been doing that is I'm working on you, and I do believe, indeed, they would also become a subject. Which would be very nice, because they have a lot of troops. Might be a bit too many troops, actually, but... Okay, and we have a lot of Encore territory, okay. Okay, we found the Philosopher's Stone. Groups of alchemists have gathered before the court, desiring funding to expand their research. That's a lot of funding. We can't afford that. That's going to genuinely bankrupt us. I guess let's try and learn lead into gold. If you could make this gold, I would love you. So I genuinely don't know this event. What is this event? I'm gonna have to provide the save afterwards as some kind of like proof of not cheating if this is some ridiculous RNG event. But if this actually turns my lead into gold, that would be incredible. Oh yeah, I guess we go try and turn lead into gold. Alright, well there's the Civil War. I'm very happy that didn't pop up on this fort. And also immediately all of our friends can... Sure. Come on in, guys. Come help us out in the Civil War. Right. Oh, the alchemists have come back empty-handed, wasting an incredible amount of state funds in search of a delusion. In fear of punishment for their folly, they've escaped to a neighboring country, presumably to ask them for funding to absolute bastard. But it's not an entirely fruitless endeavor. The workshop is littered with unrelated but otherwise useful research, alongside a large amount of raw goods. They were presumably used for the alchemical tasks we handed them. We've already repossessed them, even if they may not make up for the costs incurred. Considering we paid them like 10 ducats. The Dublin... How did they... I gave them like 20 ducats or whatever, right? How did they turn that into 450 ducats worth of gold? That's impressive. Can't really do much with that, but I mean, it's just the market. That's not us. Wait, we didn't get any money from that. Well, that's okay. On that note, though, it is again time for Parliament. Please, urbanization or an inflation one? Have to go on our capital. Census, naval, market expansion, support a noble, support the state, expand office. God damn it. Ah, wonderful. Just as I was getting a country going together, the Black Death. Oh, I forgot about that whole thing. Oh, dear God. Alright, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, this, though, is quite the complication. These guys are... gotten to war with... Chester. Oh, boy. 132, 68, 347, 164. But they are themselves fighting with 547, which is pretty similar to what we have. Plus, of course, you guys have 20. Oh, God. I think we might have to actually join that. What happens if we accept this now? Because we're at war with them. Yeah, I guess they just pay us, but we're at war. Okay. Not a war I expected to be in, but I guess that's the war we're in now. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, sorry, missed the battle. There goes 50 of our men, but we've basically shattered the enemy, so that's neat. Not sure what they do on land here, but okay. Well, there's already apparently a peace deal. That's good. Don't necessarily want this land, so you guys can go right ahead. Oh, well, we've gained this province. That's neat. Thanks. Hopefully not at too much AE cost. And we're at war with Shrewsbury? How we manage that? Not I'm implicitly complaining, but... And they've declared a survival. Well, that's not going to last well for you. It's not going to last well for you at all. You probably should not have joined this war. I'm not sure they keep joining wars randomly, but not a good idea for them. Actually, if they take these guys as a subject, they're probably not going to become my subject then, will they? No, okay, that's actually an issue now. I hope they don't actually take them as a subject. Might ruin my plans, because I was really hoping to just politely ask them to be part of me. If I have to find them, that'll be awkward. God damn it, they took them as a fiefdom. Okay, and then I got at least some land, but that means, of course... Wait, what? I mean, I'll take that. Okay, sure. Uh, I'm not complaining. I'm absolutely not complaining, right? Well, oh boy, the Black Death is here. Haven't really done anything, so like I can afford a hospital or anything of that nature. So there goes my stability. Alright, I was a fan of that. My question is, do you want to move Court into hiding? Not particularly, to be honest. I mean, if we lose a couple of these chaps, oh well. I think this guy is not great for a 12-year-old either. Alright, so... Yeah, not the best, not the best. So, that all being said, I guess we isolate the country. Let's also make sure we go ahead and, I believe, segregate the infected. Or do you want to expel the sick? I think that means we need to build pest houses if we expel the sick. Yeah. We get a lot of communalism. Eventually, we want to sponsor mass forgiveness once it's retreating. Otherwise, let's up the stab. I mean, we can't afford to tax anyone at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Let's go right ahead and say, what can we do? Oh boy. There goes our poor economy. We've just recovered somewhat. Oh, and it's even worse, of course, because the stab just got applied again. I'm not sure how this has occurred, but it's come to my attention the Lordship of Pembroke over here has 85 troops. And no friends. And their subject has 19. So even though we've reduced our own strength because of, shall we say, Black Death developments, we're just going to go in. I mean, it's about as free as it gets. So, yeah, let's go do that. Another thing that I've spotted, which may be interesting, is of course a war on Cardigan over here. If I can move in and vassalize them, they are currently defending in the Second War of Wales Aggression, which means we could get ourselves a defensive war against Wales. Could be something worth doing, because Wales has fallen into union with, unfortunately, England. And that's kind of a tough union to break. England has 2,000 troops, an already obscene amount, and then they have like another 1,000 worth of subjects who also have... Oh boy. Yeah, okay, so that's just basically not happening. If we can avoid fighting England, that would be great. And we'd kind of need to annex Wales to be able to form Wales. That being said, we do have a war to win. Let's unite our armies before they go and manifest 5,000 troops out of somewhere. My god, finally. 602 days. Damn. We've also taken a work of art. Nice, our first inspiring Denise. Denise? Okay, well, it's well known in the area, I guess. Now, excellent. With that said, we're done with this war. Which means, I mean, we just grab everything, right? Antagonism-wise, no one continues to care. Wonderful. 10 more ducats to the economy. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, I think that looks perfect to me. So let's go ahead and grab that. Now, with that whole development, we're going to disband all army levies. We're going to, well, first of all, get our cabinet members. Oh, we're secretive. Nice. Instead of converting over here, which is what we were doing previously, we're going to go ahead and actually integrate all of this. Now, here's the plan. You're still fighting Wales. I'm going to move in. No, because they like me, don't they, the bastards? Okay, we did send them an insult. I believe this is going to update, maybe over the month tick. We need diplomats back anyway. All right, let's get our month tick in. The idea is that we should be able to deck them without that much stability, and then subjugate them and get a defensive war against Wales over here. A person, again, we do have to annex. Okay, it's updated now. We've got the month tick. We've got ourselves our diplomat. We can go right into here now. Excellent. 25 stab, again, still hurts, but that's the cost we pay for no CB being the best CB. Let's go for it yet again. Beautiful. Get quite a sizable existent army now. And yeah, this should be less painful of a fort. Vassalize them. Let's just make sure we can do that. Maybe even make them a fiefdom. Stay annex faster. Yeah, why not? Okay. Also, unfortunately, the actual place of Penfro is going to be a bit harder to integrate because they're English, so they're not happy about the whole being conquered thing. That part's going to suck. Okay. Anyway, let's get the war and the sieges going. Oh, damn. Bulgaria actually managed to afford a new market. Nice. So that's a development, to be fair. Consolidation's a bit weird across the world. Like, you are starting to see some, but it's very wacky. And yeah, like Chernigiv's over here is doing quite well, and Muscovy. I think all the starting kingdom titles actually, because they start on capitals, and capitals are pretty strong and doing pretty well. Like, for example, England in charge of London's doing quite well, and Portugal's like even noticeable on the map. And I guess this must have been one of the small cities over here. Well, that's not always like. I don't think Sevilla's doing that well, although Sevilla I don't think was the capital of Castile, but you do get the point. Actually, Naples, that's noticeable on the map as well. Like, you are starting to see consolidation still rather early, especially by our standards, but it's, they're getting there. They're getting there. Certainly an interesting world will emerge, is all I will say. Definitely not the usual one. For example, these guys here are 4 provinces, but they're about to get full occupied by these guys, so not sure if that leads to anything, but that's something. And also, like, these guys are 8 locations even. Wow, alright, that's something. Austria's kind of re-emerging, that's neat. Jardum of Ski is emerging, and is damn, even Iceland is unifying. 5 locations here, 3 locations here. I mean, they're going for it. You can kind of tell by, like, our neighborhoods that people be fighting. I mean, Bristol is kind of a big boy. Shame it's right on our doorstep, but it's there. And yeah, I mean, Lincoln's a thing. Dumfries is present. England's done quite well unification-wise, and I mean, England itself is 11 locations, so definitely doing very well. A lot better than measly old Paris over here in the Kingdom of France. I guess they have 3 subjects. England has just the one. Well, that's annoying. The Principality of Wales has peaced out, and also we've gained a new enemy, Swansea, which has just joined us, I guess. I'm really not sure how they're able to join us, but I guess I'm not complaining. I mean, I don't believe they have a fort or much of an army, so yeah, I mean, that works for me. I mean, the Wales part is a bit more annoying. I really hope they pick up a random ally or someone, like, maybe they can ally Cornwall. That'll be great. I mean, they've rivaled Cornwall. Okay, never mind. This is an issue. Alright, well, there goes this siege. Only took forever as well. Okay, well, let's go deal with Swansea. I mean, may as well, right? Not like they're going to be able to, yep, even put up a fight. Nice. I think, ironically enough, because of the Swansea demographics, they probably want to release them as an English Catholic subject. So hopefully they spend favors improving relations with us, because I would love to be in a state where our society doesn't hate the English, so can actually accept these guys. At the moment, that's easier said than done. Alright, peace deal time. You gentlemen over here, give me your country and all of your money and land, and no one continues to care. Lovely. I love this 80 impact stuff. Right, so there we go. There's that. And how have we already... No, okay. And now we can immediately go to you, and I think we do just annex you as well. Yeah, this is land we'd ideally want to have. You're not at war with anyone else, are you? Nope, just us. Shame. No free war for us. Okay. Right, well, that's that. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Disband all levies, and immediately let's go to diplomatic. Let us create ourselves a, I guess, historical subject. Over here as, I guess, a fiefdom. That's fine. They do start Catholic Welsh still. Well, there goes that plan. Either way, they can deal with this. Hopefully by converting the English into the Welsh. That's something. Right, that being said, how do we deal with you? Okay, new plan. If we go into Conway, when of course the truce expires, They still have no friends. Hope we can beat up their army, and then Wales will declare war on them, which will let us subjugate Cornwall and get a defensive war on Wales. Okay, that's the new plan. Let's get working on that. The Black Death is now officially over. Did anybody survive? Well, we lost 23,000 people. Could have been much worse, but could have been much better. In other more better news, Bristol is dying, and that is good. That being said, ouch, the Earldom of Amesbury over here, that's quite a big boy, and not only is he quite a big boy on his own, he's allied with Glamorgan and has these guys as a subject, so that's... This might be the guy to unify England, if of course England doesn't manage to do it as well. Interesting. You know what, maybe Bristol was the good guys, because Glamorgan is now a subject of Amesbury. Amesbury is quite the empire now, isn't it? Oh boy. Yeah, okay, that's an issue. That is an issue. I'm actually not sure what we need to form Wales. Ideally, if we can get away without fighting them, some kind of like most of Wales unification, that would be great. Alright, well, our truce is over. These guys, though, still have a truce with Wales until the 12th of December. That being said, I think it'll take us longer than that to siege them. So I think we go in, and hopefully they just deck them on truce. That's the plan, really. So, yeah, I reckon we go for it. Why is this? Oh, god damn it. Do you like us? Oh, not again. Oh, you do. Right, well, I guess that's our delay as well. I don't want to spend 10 stab. I'm going to send them an insult and then spend the diplomacy instead to get the diplomats back. Alright, see you on the other side. Wait, no, of course, the parliament's going to finish. It's going to give us 5 diplomats. Okay, this is actually perfect. This is actually perfect. Okay, never mind. Don't need to spend all that money on diplomacy. We're going to get our diplomats back from parliament. This actually works out. Oh, I'm a genius. Okay, Ansley, appreciate your enthusiasm, but that's not going to do much of anything. That was actually a terrible idea. I'm not sure why you did that. Okay, well, let's grab any of our excellent generals here and go win. Well, there we go. Rip 20 men, I guess, but that's it. Alright, well, we won the siege. The awkward part is Wales still hasn't done anything. You know what, this guy, speaking of his Welsh upbringing, well, he doesn't really have a Welsh upbringing. He has an English upbringing, and then he became Welsh. But you know what, sure, let's get rid of the French language. Let's go ahead and actually adopt the... I mean, how many people speak French? Quite a few. But you know what, we'll adopt the Welsh language as our court language. Beautiful. I hope I don't regret it. Wait, I can see them fabricate the CB, even though it'll be ready on the 1st of November. I feel like I shouldn't be able to see this. Like, I shouldn't be able to see that they have an active spy network. I shouldn't be able to see that they have a CB they are fabricating and their literal exact progress with breakdowns of how they... Again, that seems like I shouldn't have this information, shouldn't I? But either way, it's quite useful, so I guess I'm not going to complain. Oh, no choice. We got caught into a war against Durham. I feel like there'll be... Yeah, you know what? Billingham? I reckon you have this. Yeah, I reckon they have this sorted. Okay. Oh my god, the peasants, they got rich enough to actually build a mason. Our first economic building. Let's go. We did it. Yay. Okay, they have the CB. Now I just need them to use it. And then we should be able to vassalize and then go on the defensive. They've done it. They've done it. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, Conway, yep. We go to you, and then treaties. You become a vassal, and I guess just give you money, whatever. Humiliate. Give me war reps. Let's not dismantle force in the country. We'll need that for later. All right. Okay. Yep. If I'm not mistaken. That would have worked in EU4. Well, that's really bad, actually. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, and now you guys are going to be loyal around never, aren't you? 50. Boy. Okay, well, I guess we'll work on that. I guess for now we can go clean up these guys over here best as we can in preparation. Alright, no CB, best CB yet again. Just to confirm, nope, no stupid troop counts. Alright, in we go. Alright, well that war was indeed trivial, so let's go piece this out. That being said, we're going to full annex and then release all 4 of these as quote-unquote historical subjects. That's the plan here. I think England lost some battles in the 100 Years' War. Maybe the Battle of Ruin. I did forget that's happening. Great news, they have 262 men, which means... I think we're gonna take this opportunity to go in here. Yeah, you know what? I think it's about as good as it'll get. Let's go. So they don't recover too much, right? Let's go. Quick. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, so far so good. Got ourselves our first victory. Okay, just like that, we've arrived and are in position to start the siege. Now, I'm actually potentially going to leave these guys here. Let me check. If I set my subjects to, and I do hope, please, where are my subjects? Military tab. Oh, it's here, right. You all go on supportive, please, and you support yourself into, and this is very important, into this stack. Where's the allow attach button? It's this one. Yes. No, it's attachments allowed. Okay. And these guys, can we make our way over? Oh, we'll need mill access. Oh, do we actually have to... Wait, do I need to get it through your subjects as well? Oh my god. I was about to say there's nothing actually to show here, but we've now entered the subject regency. Okay. Not the worst region. Unfortunately, we also just had a hunting accident, so our kid died, and now we're... Okay. Well, those are all issues. That all being said, though, temporary issues, I do believe, and with that all said again, Siege and the war's going great. The English are not showing up yet, so far so good. Let's hope we get away with it? Yeah, we'll get away with it, right? We'll get away with it. Okay, it's getting ridiculous. There's 92 guys there. I might pop back and try a cheeky assault unless we just win here, maybe? No, of course we don't. We're likely to fail. Oh my god, it's 90 men. Oh my god, I hate this. I hate this so much. The siege has been going on for so long, I get to call Parliament again. I guess we'll promote Castle Works, why not? I can't believe it. 951 days. Is that the English army about to arrive? Jesus Christ, we finally won 951 days siege. We get... No. No, okay. What do I need to piece you out, England? No? Oh boy, alright. Guess we go fight whatever this is. Oh, it is 7 dudes. Okay. On 3 boats. Alright, that should be fine. I hope I don't regret saying that. Right? It's not like the 7 greatest soldiers. No, it's just levies. Okay. War score, please. That actually was war score. Alright, and there's the English army. There's the actual English army. Alright. Well, form up, boys. What do you... Are you regulars? No, how do you... Why is this considered... There's higher morale and qual... Okay. I refuse to believe there's that much of a difference. Alright. Our allies have attached to us. Surely now? Alright, well, I mean, they have literally no one on the left flank, like 21 dudes, so... That has to end well for us. Has to. I'm not gonna lie, what that tooltip said previously, I feel like we would have won that without our subject reinforcements now. Okay. Beautiful. Beating the English back. Loving it. There's no more English coming, right? Yep, nope, okay. Beautiful. Slaughtering the English here now. Oh, stunning. Stunning. And there goes the center. And even our flank with like 33 guys held. Beautiful. And that's the full wipe. England, you still want to be in this... How did you go up? Oh, I guess you're technically defending the siege now. Right. I'm not going to give you a white piece. Okay. Okay, they'll accept. Now, we could wait out and get like 10 ducats, but I think we're not going to be able to separate piece England here. No, not really. So I'm not going to wait all this time for 10 ducats, or you waste the 10 ducats. Let's take our 0.4. No one cares, surely. Nope, I wouldn't care. I'll take this quote-unquote coalition. Beautiful. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, there we go. Wales is gone. As in the Kingdom of Fails, the false pretenders. So what do we need to form Wales? We need 4 more locations. Is it owned by us? No, you need to directly own it. Okay. Well, that's simple. We just need to annex these guys. When can we do that? Oh, in a year and a bit, because the sieges took so long. You know, looking at the map, in a weird way, it's coming together. In some ways, a bit of a Smolensk way, or a Smyrna way, or a big Bulgaria way. But, some familiar faces. Naples is kind of back. Cayenne is going ham. Who's this? Astarak is definitely new. Lorraine is popping out over here. Tarascon. I mean, they're all going to form their nations eventually. I mean, I'm assuming Serek here forms Poland, for example. Scania's having a bit of a field day. The clergy's losing influence, but the world is reconsolidating, and I think that's really cool. I mean, hey, even Aragon has kind of conquered most of Aragon back. It's pretty cool. And we're in a different noble regency. Thank you. Very cool. This was pretty not bad, actually. Oh, and we need a new person to crack down on the English patriots. Anytime I try and have a conversation, man. Anytime. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Now, of course, if you're playing this yourself, not the fastest mod, as you can probably tell by my right side corner there, so bear that in mind. And I have found a very weird bug when you raise levies. If you are paused and you hover over the time until you raise levies, it's fine. But if you're unpaused and you hover over it, it immediately crashes the game. Haven't been able to replicate it in any other mod or in vanilla. It's only in this mod specifically. So just a fair warning. But yeah, no. I mean, as a campaign as a whole, to be honest, it's been quite an interesting one. Haven't really. Okay, we've had a decline in army quality. Thank you for these interruptions. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, as I was saying, as a campaign as a whole, I mean, quite an interesting one. I mean, quite a challenging start. Very CK3 reminiscent, but it also played a bit more in the same way that EU Forward, where you really got to know each and every provinces. Like, I have a much better understanding of the provinces in Wales now, having played so much and spent so long staring at this area now. And I think that's kind of the things that I've somewhat missed in EU5. On a purely, like, it's a very freeform kind of argument I'm making right now, let's be clear, but because there's so many locations, you don't get as personally attached to each location. I mean, you get attached to capitals or other big major cities, but, I have a story related to Trafalgar, right? You don't really get that normally, I feel like, in EU5. There's so many locations, each individual one becomes less relevant in some ways. And it's not to say that's not a aspect that's present in other Paradox games, like in CK3 as well. I find that the locations got less relevant in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know. It's just an interesting observation where I've kind of had that again in this game. And weirdly, the economy, because I couldn't afford a single town or any single building really at all, even with this silver mine, like my inflation is still crippling ever since I had that silver mine. I'm only just now starting to work on it, so it's still pretty bad. Well, what I'm trying to say is it's a very weird way of playing the game with like no economy basically and kind of forced into a levies only environment, really going full ham on the levies here. So yeah, it's a very unique campaign in some respects, obviously, because it's a very different mod, but would recommend if you can put up with the game speed and all of the consequences of that and the stability. You need a good computer for this. Like it's not even a joke. I'm barely able to run this, and I've literally closed everything on my computer apart from OBS and EU5. So make of that what you will. But yeah, I was wrong earlier, by the way. The annexation time is March 1369, and then we form Wales, and we should be happy. Right then, well, I guess I'll catch you in a bit. Zooming out to a world like this, I'm really starting to understand modern art, I feel, because in some ways it's looking like a world HRE, but outside of the integration of province being finished, thank you, game, yet again for interrupting. But like, I'm starting to really see the vision, especially as the blobs are starting to reconsolidate. Fascinating. All right, there we go. We can go ahead and start this annexation. Let's make sure we do them one at a time. It's very weird, though, I will also say, while I have your attention, to play a game with the performance notably improved as the game continued. Like, I don't think any other Paradox game or any other setup has the in-game performance get so much better the later I got into the run. And I mean, it's not like I'm particularly late, but I do feel like by probably 1450, 1500s, it would not be noticeable as, like, a mod of this kind of performance hit, dare I say. Which is fascinating. Maybe a version of this could have the rest of the New World tags spawn in like the 1400s. Could be interesting. Something to bear in mind. Well, I was about to go annex my subjects. I mean, I am working on it, but well, it's come to my attention that England has just beaten up these guys. So while they have an army of 600 dudes in a dream, well, I think we might want to slide in there. Wait, how bad? Jesus Christ, what? Due to Amsbury being a... Yeah, do we like you this much? Jesus Christ. There's no way we like you that much. Yeah, what is this? Do we have a truce with you or something? Mill access, maybe? I guess it's access, right? Yeah, it's mill access. How do I revoke this? Oh, it's here. Okay, one moment. Right, my apologies for that. We are back, and I guess it's time for our last final war, dare I say. Should be fine. We weirdly enough have a claim. I believe I got that from events. An actual claim on the province. Beautiful. So let's go for it. Although we would want to wait a month to take for these levies to update. There we go. Almost 3,000 men. Beautiful. Right, let's get them going, and let's go get the win. Right, there goes that. Should be able to beat them here, at least I hope. Yep. I mean, yep, start flanking. Start with them outnumbered. Beautiful. Easy win. Glory to Wales. I mean, we're not Wales yet, but you get the message. Yes, I'm surprised as you are. We can just walk into Bristol, so we will. There we go. We're in Bristol. Easy as that. And our allies have already gone and started sieging. And of course, I'm being interrupted yet again. Thank you about that renewed focus on traditional practices. Really what I needed just now as I was gloating about our glorious victory. There it goes. Let's grab the rest of this. May as well, right? Ah, we have, of course, come of age, which means we are technically unmarried. So let's go find a suitable marriage within Norwich. Maybe one of these. Ooh, wannabe Brandenburg. That could be fascinating. Not Portugal. Those are a bit too fancy for us. Maybe someone, you know what? Someone from Brittany. There we go. Eleanor, you'll be wonderful. All right, that's these guys dealt with. Nice. Which means, ironically enough, if we could have actually probably just waited. Yeah, did 2 more annexations and that would have been it. But no, we had to go to war. Now we're sitting on a siege. Yeah, these guys will be done soon, and then we could have start moving to here. That being said, if you guys, there was less than 1,000 Welsh people here initially, so yeah, I actually have done pretty well in that regard. Neat. I guess there is this province here, but like, I mean, if we really wanted to, we'd do just win this. I think. 2,500 could it be pretty close, but probably winnable. They're not going to be that coordinated, and I don't believe this is a fort now. So, if we really wanted hyper clean borders, like, what is the actual requirements for full on? Oh, it doesn't actually include. We do need the southern provinces. Doesn't actually include this one. Does not include these bits. So I guess this isn't Wales. I mean, it makes sense. This is the region of Wales, so that makes sense actually. I guess we are Greater Wales. I forgot about these guys. Let's actually improve with them. Oops, I forgot they're our subject as well. You know, I think trading technically Flint for all of this is fine. Right? Yeah. Oh. You want to go join the clergy? I mean, you're 53, so despite being incredible. You know what? How much is granting cabinet rights? 20 legitimacy. If I cared about my cabinet, I would have granted you cabinet rights, so, but I guess go have fun at church. Oh no. We are back to the 28% siege. That's going to take forever, isn't it? Oh, god damn it. And let me guess, this is likely to... Yep. Yep. Don't mind me just putting down a quick English uprising. Hopefully no one joins like the English or something stupid. That would be very, very stupid and a stupid way of losing this campaign. Alright. There we go. Annex Revolta. Welcome back. Right. Back to the siege we go. Oh my god, it's actually going to be another 900, 1,000 day siege. Oh boy. Oh, I love those. We could have absolutely just annexed everyone instead, shouldn't we? Right. Okay, it's genuinely been well over 1,000 days. Oh my god. This is... The length of time I've spent complaining about sieges and Paradox games are around the amount of times I've spent in real life actually doing these sieges. Finally. I knew I had to start complaining so that the game would interrupt my complaining by giving me a siege win. Please hand over. your country. Thank you, thank you. Wonderful. It's only 18 war score. Okay. So I can end the campaign ridge. There we go. We'll leave them this kind of blob over here. Right, that seems fine to me. Actually, we should probably get war reparations. Yeah, you can keep a little bit more land. There we go. Right. Perfect. With quite an impressive levy count, mainly because we've just annexed our most recent people, our integrations are in progress. We can actually go ahead and embrace professional armies. Nice. I'm going to do that. Rip our stability. But we can go ahead and form Wales. Or sorry, form Cymru. Because we are, there we go, we are the Lordship of Cymru. We've got ourselves that little dragon thing. And there we go. We've done it. We have formed Wales, as were our goals from earlier. Certainly one of the campaigns of all time. Would recommend. As always, mod links will be available in the description as previously mentioned. And yeah, the world consolidation continues. Some pretty big Dutch blobs, Cayenne. Huriel probably is going to end up... Huriel's probably going to give it a go at forming France. That'll be a big one. And I mean, especially since France exists, technically. Lorraine's here, Tarascon. Who's this guy over here? Tivoli in Italy's doing some consolidation. Beirut is having a day. Oh my god, I think the Jardom of Odense is going for Denmark. That's for certain. Some big tags over in the area. And I mean, the consolidation is certainly happening. Anatolia's a bit of a wacky one, that's for certain, but we'll see how that ends up. And Egypt's kind of. Actually, the Mamluks, of all people, are... I think Cairo's just that good. They are starting to reform, although they will face opposition. Because my god, the Mamluks are just rigged to be broken in every... It's 1374. They start with a unique location, and they still have 16k troops. Like, what is this? That being said, there are no pushovers next to them. That's for certain. Aragon's actually consolidated very well. That's quite pretty. But they have Zaragoza to fight over there. Madrid, Castile, yeah, a lot of, like, consolidation. Iberia, northern Portugal, and there was a Portugal, but I think they are no longer with us. Cordoba's also getting themselves a bit of a... If I was to be... No, it's the county of Cordoba. All right. Morocco's kind of reforming as well. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. But yeah, certainly one of the runs of all time. But unfortunately, that is all the time I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, with a special thank you to all my channel members, especially Ark, Soda, Suleiman, Lord Zendika, Nick Hassan Al Hatan, Sal72, The Awesome Rabbit, Best Pro Gaming, Grabmel Flavia, Leberule, W Haste Sov, Anthony35, AC Napo, Conspiracy Pizza, Yukata, Danray, Marvi, Jack, Ryland, Stuart Allen, Andrew Black, Nebula, Zentronic, Twinet, and Aquabird.